James here from goodguitarist.com, and in today's lesson I want to show you a simple way to improve your soloing that doesn't involve learning any extra notes or scales or anything like that. Once you get this concept, you'll be able to use it right away to improve your solos. Before we get started, if you need any extra help, I have a free lead guitar ebook. It's completely free for all my subscribers, and it covers all the basics of lead guitar. The pentatonic scale, hammer-ons, pull-offs, all that stuff. So please check that out. I'll put a link in the corner for that. And also, if you'd like a written copy of everything that we're going to learn today, that's available on my Patreon page. It's a printable worksheet. There's a link and more information on that down below. So on to our lesson. The concept that I want to discuss today is phrasing. And phrasing is a massive topic. But today, I just want to show you one thing that makes the biggest difference. We're going to learn how to leave space. So instead of doing this, you would leave space and get something like this. And in both those examples, I just played the pentatonic scale up and down. I didn't do anything fancy. I literally played it the same way, like you would when you're practicing. The first time, I did it without stopping, and it sounded boring. The second time I did it, I took some breaks, kind of like taking a breath, and it gave my scale a bit of life, and it made it much more musical. And that's something that we don't really have to do on guitar. We don't have to deal with breathing, but people who play trumpet or saxophone, their phrasing is limited by how much breath they can take. And while it may seem like a limitation, it actually creates something more organic and natural. Just like when somebody's giving a speech or teaching a guitar lesson online. When you don't pause or take breaks and you just keep talking and going on and on without stopping or taking any sort of breaths, just words coming out of your mouth in a constant stream, it becomes really hard to make a point and even harder for the listener to follow because it just ends up feeling like one big run-on sentence. And on the contrary, it's a lot easier to understand somebody who takes the time to say things, who takes time to breathe while they're speaking. It really helps the listener to catch up and to understand what the speaker is saying. And that same concept applies to music. And I feel that that's one of the biggest problems that I see in newer players. They just want to keep playing notes, and they don't realize that the simplest thing ever, just pausing to breathe, musically, it helps you take the simplest of solos and make it interesting and something that's worth listening to. So that's the concept. Now, as far as how to work that into your playing, there are a couple of strategies that you can do. The first one is more of like a feeling it out sort of thing. You basically just sing what you're playing. You'll see a lot of jazz guys do this. And, even if you're not singing the exact same notes that you're playing, it's effective at getting you to make organic phrases because you have to stop playing when you go to breathe. It'll go something like this. So that breaks up our lines quite nicely. And another way to accomplish this is to plan it out. We'll start with a really simple exercise. I have an easy lick that I want to try this with. just the top 4 strings of the pentatonic scale. 5th fret of the D string, index, and then the 7th fret with our ring finger. Same thing on the next string, on the G string. And then on the B string, index, pinky, index, pinky. And as far as the rhythm's concerned, we're going to play it like this. 1 and 2 and then for 3 and, I just make a down up in the air to help, you know, keep the beat. And then 4 and 1 and 2 and. So you can see that right there. Take your time with it. You count out loud, 1 and 2 and 3 and then you just line up the strokes with it. And you know, you take breaks when there's no notes, right? Simple enough. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and from there, the second half, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And as far as the notes are concerned, we're literally just ascending and descending. We're not using any notes twice or playing them in any different order. Just take a look at that descent. I'll go through it slowly one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So work on each half at your own pace and then put it together once again at your own pace, taking the time to count out loud. And then when you're ready, we'll do it with our metronome at like a medium slow tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then once we're really comfortable with it, we can try it with the backing track. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Without any counting. And that's all there is to it. If you would like a worksheet with everything that we covered, that's available on my Patreon page. There's a link down below for that. And don't forget to grab your copy of my free ebook covering all the fundamentals of lead guitar. There's a link down below for that too, along with some other useful content. Otherwise, have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.